no time for 16. The fourth point obviously was warnings. The day the Titanic was on the Atlantic, that day they received 6 warnings from different ships around. They received a warning from RMS Carpathia. They received a warning from RMS Columbia through wireless transmission that there is an iceberg. You're moving in, treading in dangerous areas. Be careful, you can't go there. Don't move there. But कहाँ सुनेंगे जी हम? आप लोगों को भी कितनी बार कितनों ने वार्निंग दिया होगा नहीं? ऐसा मत कर बेटा, जीवन बर्बाद होगा. अब सोचते हैं बुढ़ाऊ लोग क्या समझते हैं, साधु लोग तो उनका काम है प्रवचनबाजी करना, बड़बड़ करते रहते हैं दिन भर. मुझे बोलते उसको छोड़ दे, ऐसा कैसे चलेगा? जीवन दिया उसके लिए, मैंने छोड़ दे. हाँ, no sadhu will tell you छोड़ दे in terms of legitimate marriage, but sadhus will tell you to stop illegitimate activities which are like icebergs. Illegitimate activities are like icebergs. Unrighteous, sinful activities are like icebergs. Our life is like a ship, and the captain of the ship is the Guru. You know, Guru Karanadharam. The Bhagavatam explains, Guru Karanadharam. What is the first line? How does that verse begin? I forget the first line of the verse. Nirdeham adyam sulubham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam Guru Karanadharam. Splavam sukalpam. This human body is like a first class, well engineered boat, a ship, RMS Titanic. You know, first class engineered boat. We're not like animals. We're not like animals who can't respond, you know, who can only react. Animals react intrinsically. We can respond to what comes to our life. We can choose to respond. This is like a beautiful boat to cross through all the problems in life, to cross through the ocean of birth and death. And the Guru is the captain. But you know what? Unrighteousness, sin, wrongdoings is like an iceberg. If the ship of our life comes and collides with an iceberg of unrighteous living, destruction is certain. Destruction of our values, destruction of our peace, destruction of our satisfaction, destruction of our fulfillment is certain. And at the end, probably destruction of our life. You know. Therefore, warnings are given. Iceberg ahead, be careful. And what do we think? Isko kya malum hai? He's left his career and his profession 20 years back. और इधर बैठ के प्रवचनबाजी करते रहते हैं लोग. इनका क्या जाता है प्रवचन देने में? थोड़ा आके हमारे साथ रह के देखो, फिर पता लगेगा. हम लोग 21st century, आप तो पुराने जमाने वाले लोग हैं. बाबा आदम के जमाने के हैं आप लोग. Think like that. There are warnings that kept coming to the RMS Titanic. Unfortunately, they didn't hear. They thought God cannot sink this ship. What is this Carpathia, Columbia ship sending us these signals? God cannot sink this ship. When the tsunami came in Japan, there is a fish called, it's called the messenger of the sea god's palace. You go to anywhere in Japan, they'll tell you, this fish is called this messenger of the sea god's palace, which means they say there is a sea god inside, and whenever a sea god, Varuna in our tradition, whatever they say, whenever he sees that there is an impending danger from the ocean side, he sends this messenger as a fish on the top of the ocean. This fish never comes out of the water. Only when there is an impending danger because of the ocean does this fish come up to the surface. Therefore it is called the messenger of the sea god's palace. Comes as a messenger to tell you destruction is certain. When I was studying my electrical engineering, I was doing some research in certain areas, and when I was on one particular semester, I was to give a talk, you know, on what is it called? I forget the name of seismography. Measuring the intensity of earthquakes, studying earthquakes, measuring the intensity of earthquakes, and seeing if we could improvise the quality of measurements, to suggest improvised measurements. That was my project, you know. I'm studying all books related to earthquakes. One thing I read was, there are things called as rattlesnakes. Just before an earthquake, these rattlesnakes come out of their burrows, as if to tell you that there's something impending danger is coming. You know what? People from the meteorological department there in Japan, they were told by the fishermen that this fish has come up, this fish never comes up, and it has been a tradition. Anytime this fish comes up, there has been a catastrophe. Catastrophe. These fishes are coming out in plenties. There is a danger. Do something about it. And you know, all the officers, the leaders of the meteorological department said, Andhashraddha. What are you talking? All this blind faith, blind belief. Get lost, man. There's nothing like that in our meteorology. Get lost. In a day, there was a massive tsunami. Warnings were there. Warnings were there. Messengers were there. If only we would have heard those warnings. Friends and guests, it's very, very important to hear this fourth lesson for this evening. That sadhus, saintly people, well-wishers, experienced people keep telling us, warning us, don't take this path. There'll be danger. Give some value to it. Don't throw it down the drain. Like the captains and the officers on the RMS Titanic. Destruction was inevitable when the iceberg came, and so will be our lives if we come and clash with the iceberg of lack of virtue.